And good morning at 7:04 on this Tuesday, October 14th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company. Our guest host today, Kurt Baker.
Good morning, Wilson County. Glad to have everybody out this morning. Everybody's got a couple of cups of coffee in them and got here early this morning. And Billy and MJ were putting the antennas up, so hopefully you can hear us out there. Before we go to our first guest, our sponsor today is Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Did you know that nearly 50% of all heart attacks go unnoticed? These silent heart attacks can happen with either extremely mild symptoms or no symptoms at all. Silent heart attacks are often discovered during routine screenings, and non-traditional symptoms of silent heart attacks include heartburn, nausea, fatigue, abdominal pain, back pain, and shortness of breath. In the days and weeks after silent heart attacks, people report becoming short of breath quickly or having feelings of age-related fatigue. Preventing silent heart attacks before they happen. With the help of your healthcare provider, make sure to get your blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes under control. Exercise daily and eat a heart-healthy diet. If you think you're experiencing a heart attack, call 911 and get to the nearest emergency room immediately. For more information, visit VanderbiltWilsonCountyHospital.com. This morning, the first part of the show, first half from about 7:05 to 7:30, we have Mr. Justin Beasley calling in. Justin's the Mount Juliet Communications Director, and Justin's always glad to join us and share some exciting news. I know they were without a meeting for Columbus Day yesterday, but I'm sure he's got plenty he wants to talk about this morning. Justin, you there?
Absolutely, yeah. Good morning, and great job. We missed Coleman, but they've had a stacked guest lineup hosting for them, so we appreciate you and your time and interest in Mount Juliet. I would say the biggest thing this week that if I said anything on this program, wouldn't want to bury the lead, Sprouts Organic Grocery is coming to Mount Juliet. They're opening up Friday. That will be an even earlier wake-up call than this radio program. We'll have to be there at 6:45. Cut the ribbon. They open the doors by 7, but Sprouts Farmers Market will be the first of its kind, the first organic grocer in Wilson County's history, and we're glad to have it in Mount Juliet. It'll be located on North Mount Juliet Road, right across from Mount Juliet Church of Christ on the Everett Downs property, and we're super excited for that. We feel like, in a way, it's a Costco, build it and they will come. Obviously, tenants around it, and super ecstatic about that. We've got a new traffic light just in front of Sprouts on North Mount Juliet Road that will help out with the flow coming in and out of that Everett Down property. This has been a plat of land that's been, ready to be constructed for quite some time with the Robinson family that has done such a good job, and to finally see this come to fruition and have something that we're super proud of on that property, we think is certainly going to be a game changer for Mount Juliet, especially when you look at our sales tax base and how dependent upon we are shopping local. We really think it's going to be a game changer in our confines of our government.
Surely, that's super exciting for the west side of Wilson County over there, Justin. I know you said that, if you build it, they'll come. But I know there's years and years of planning and an approval process that goes into this. Share a little bit about how that process worked with Sprouts.
Yeah, when you have somebody like a Sprouts, I put them in the trifecta: Sprouts, BJ's Wholesale, and Costco. Those three have been some huge heavy hitters that the city has been able to acquire over the last 3 years, but, it just doesn't pop up. Not anybody gets to select that plot of land. There's got to be things that come around it. There's got to be off-site improvements like the traffic light that I mentioned, sidewalks and things of that nature. So they check all those boxes and more. I got to give credit to Jennifer Hanlon, our Development Services Director, Kenny Martin, our City Manager, for really getting them online and working with the Robinson family and GBT Realty. It's a total team effort, and the hard work of a lot of people will be celebrated on Friday and soon after as well. And for it to open up here in October, where we think you see a lot of people spending money at the end of the year just around Christmas and trying to eat healthier, and kids getting back into school. They'll get back into school tomorrow. It really couldn't come at a better time. So we're excited about that development process and how everything has worked out. it's really a testament to a lot of people putting in a lot of work.
That's super exciting. You know, the demand has to be there. A lot of folks see it, you know, like a Costco or a Sam's Club or a Sprouts that just pop up, and they think that, you know, somebody posts on social media, hey, we need another restaurant, and you know, the city just goes out there and asks for a restaurant to come in, and it just happens. There's a lot of years of work that goes into that, and the demand's obviously there. So super excited for Mount Juliet and all of Wilson County about what that's going to offer and bring to the community.
No doubt. And you look at Sprouts and where it is on North Mount Juliet Road, we really think that's a prime location. You know, 30,000 people are driving past that naturally every day. And now we think, you know, the crowd, the audience that goes to Sprouts, I've just been once, will now make their way to probably a side of town that they might not have normally. I'm talking about people in Mount Juliet or even those that don't live in the confines of Mount Juliet. And then you think they leave Mount Juliet and they're going to patronize other stores in that development. They're also going to patronize stores, you know, kind of close to that church, close to Everett Downs. And it's just, I mean, I'm telling you what, just the way all that works and how Mount Juliet is slowly, responsibly filling, you know, those spaces that are zoned for commercial. It's really cool to see it all come together because it doesn't happen overnight. It's taken some time, but we're super proud, and we think that we're in our prime, and the best years are ahead of us, and I think that's an example right there.
Yes, and you know, that's something certainly, you know, you have to be responsible about the way that you grow organically within the urban areas such as Mount Juliet, and just super commendations to you and the leadership over in Mount Juliet and Kenny Martin on the whole master plan and what you're doing there in Mount Juliet. Justin, I know, you know, I'm probably more familiar with you than you are with me, like most folks, your time in television and on the news yourself. Tell a little bit about your background and how you got started into it. I know you're an MTSU grad, right?
Yes, sir. Our football team's not doing that great this year, unfortunately, so I don't wear my polo as much as I should. But, yes, sir, I graduated from MTSU in 2014. I went for radio and TV. I wanted to be Colin Cowherd when I grew up. I really loved his job, talking sports all day. I went the TV route. I spent my first 2.5 years out of college in Paducah, Kentucky, working at WPSD. After those 2.5 years, was fortunately and luckily enough able to quite literally land my dream job in Nashville as a sports anchor at Channel 4. I spent 4 years there. Covering the Titans when they were good, covering the Preds when they were really good, covering the Vols when they were not as good, and also SEC football and Vanderbilt. So that was a really fun time in my career. Then after that, COVID happened, and I was kind of working more of the 9 to 5 off weekends, and I kind of enjoyed that lifestyle. So I said, hey, let me look at something a little bit more stable. You know, working sports. Sports happens when people are off work and having late nights and weekends. And once I got a taste of what that wasn't like, I kind of loved it. And, you know, I won't say that the city doesn't pull me out sometimes late at night and sometimes on the weekends, but it's a lot more stable, and the job is very rewarding as far as getting to love on businesses, getting to love on our commissioners, and really just tell people all the great things that are happening in Mount Juliet. Truly blessed. Been in the city for a little bit more than 4 years now. September was my 4-year date, and loving every minute of it, and super blessed, super thankful.
Well, Justin, you do a great job. I know there's a lot of communities that aren't fortunate to have a communications director such as yourself, especially with the extensive background and effectively communicating. I mean, you are the mouthpiece for Mount Juliet and government leadership, and you do an amazing job over there at Mount Juliet. I'll just tell you, I'm always super excited to hear what's going on, especially from yourself. You just explain it so eloquently and really dumb it down for the community as well, too.
Kurt, thank you. You know, I'm not the smartest guy, so how it comes into my brain is how I feel like I should process it out as well. I will say this, you know, one thing I've tried to make clear to everybody at the city of Mount Juliet is that everything that they had in all the departments, fire, police, public works, parks, economic development, you name it, those things were great before I arrived. I'm just now able to bring a camera, bring a lens, and now broadcast and tell that story and tell it accurately for the community to see. So all that hard work was paved much longer before I got there. I'm just fortunately trusted to tell that story. And again, every day's different, every day's fun, and certainly blessed to call Mount Joy at home and to be able to work there as well and to tell that story each and every day. It's truly been a blessing in my life.
Well, I'd say just we talk about the responsible growth that you mentioned earlier, and that's something that, what a time. Of course, you were with the Titans when they were good. You were covering the Vols when they were not good, but what an exciting time to be a communications director at Mount Juliet with all the growth and great things happening over there. And man, like I said, y'all are doing it the right way, the responsible way, and we appreciate the work y'all do every single day.
Absolutely. Our pleasure. We have a huge responsibility with a little bit more than 40,000 plus people, and as Kenny Martin, our city manager, says, it boils down to customer service every day, and that's what we got to be great at, and we'll put our best foot forward every day to make sure we answer that call.
Well, Justin, we're going to go to our first break here, and when we come back, we'll hit on a few more topics and roll on with the show.
All right, let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Bates Ford and the Lifetime Brake Pad Guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns the vehicle. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still trying to clean up a couple of wrecks out here. One's taken a while. 24 westbound, just past Lights Creek Pike. The Jolton exit up there. It's heavy coming eastbound in that area this time of the morning for sure. But the wrecks over in the westbound lanes of I-24 and past the Jolton exit as it continues to build on 65 up through Williamson County right now, leaving Franklin Brentwood on 65 as you head on up through South Nashville right now. When you need dependable towing for your car and truck, call STR Towing and Recovery. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The refreshing cool after coming in from a hot summer day. The perfect temperature to kick off your shoes and relax with a good book. When the weather heats up, a new Rheem AC system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
On Saturday, October 25th from 10 to 2, Drug-Free Wilco, the Wilson County Sheriff's Office, Lebanon Police, and Mount Juliet Police invite you to National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. Turn in unused medications at Gibbs Pharmacy, Walgreens on West Main, Three Forks Marketplace, or TriStar Mount Juliet ER. Unused prescriptions can lead to poisoning, overdose, or misuse. Dispose of them safely and receive a free lockbox from Drug-Free Wilco. This project is funded under contract with State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Good morning. Welcome back to Coleman and Company. I was thinking on the drive-in this morning, the sun wasn't quite up yet, and the fog was rising over a creek nearby, and it got to me thinking about Coleman, where he was at. So I asked MJ this morning where he was, and he's off in Gatlinburg doing some mission work up there. So we're super excited for him to have some time away. But if you know Coleman, he never stops working. He's up there doing the Lord's work, and we certainly appreciate him and what he's doing there, as well as what he does every single day here for WANT 98.9 FM. This morning, again, our first half of the show, our guest is Justin Beasley, Mount Juliet Communications Director, and still have Justin on the line?
Yes, sir. That's awesome. You mentioned about Coleman doing mission work, the Lord's work. WANT's like to have him being the voice of Wilson County for so long. He's such a treat. I hope we really appreciate what we have.
Yeah, we should. And I'll tell you one thing. I got a text message or a Facebook post from a friend of mine, Kelsey Everett, that does the Friday night show last night. And he's like, man, it's great to hear you on the other side of the microphone this morning. I tell you what, things are a lot more, the temperature's a little bit higher on this side, keeping the show going, asking the right questions, and just honestly filling the big shoes that Coleman does every single day.
Yeah, no easy task. I don't know why you agreed to that, but I agree. You're doing a great job.
I didn't agree. I think Susie just called me and told me I was doing it and what time to be here, and I said, yes, ma'am. So, and Susie said, see, you're not here this morning. Maybe I'll see you on the way out. But, Justin, what else we got going on in Mount Juliet? I know with, like I said, all the growth that continues to happen over there, all the way from one exit to the other. I know there's more exciting things going on.
So just a couple things. I will say tonight we've got a pretty cool event. We have an in-house graduation for our fire department, and we usually have done this out of house and sent them to TFACA, Tennessee Fire and Codes Academy, and they do a great job. But we're lucky enough now to have a fire training chief, Scott Lively, in-house. And what he does is we find a group of young men and young women that we feel fits the culture of the Mount Juliet Fire Department when it comes to service, dedication, and excellence. In years past, and we've only done this for just a couple of years, but sometimes we'll hire a firefighter that needs to learn emergency medical services. Sometimes we have somebody in emergency medical services that needs to learn fire. And we'll cross-train those so everybody's equal. Well, we are also hiring new people outside of our realm and taking them through the in-house training. Well, now they have completed that training. We have a graduation for them. We're going to have that tonight at the fellowship, sponsored by, of course, them and Milestone Deli, who will be sponsoring and catering the event. But it's really cool that we're able to do this. I think this is now the third one that we've had, and really just cycling through them. It saves the city a lot of money. It teaches them our principles and a little bit more. It's almost like high school team learning under the same coach and the same system through middle school, elementary, before they get to high school. That's what we're doing here. And super stoked and excited to have that event tonight. Again, the third one, and it's going to be at Fellowship. And then I'd like to say Saturday is an important day, too. It is Halloween in the Park, sponsored by TDS. That will start at 11 and end at 3. Halloween in the Park is probably the biggest event, not named the Christmas Parade, in Mount Juliet. We have tens of thousands of people flock to Charlie Daniels Park to get candy, dress up, visit all of our different vendor booths, patronize our food trucks. So we got a pretty busy week in Mount Juliet. There's never a slow day, slow week, as I like to say.
No, there's not. And talk about the time and, like you said, the location of that event this Saturday.
Yes, sir. It'll be 11 to 3, sponsored by TDS. It's Halloween in the Park. That will be at Charlie Daniels Park. Charlie Daniels Park, I was on it just a few days ago, and it's getting paved and new stripes and all new pavement. It's looking really good, and I don't think that's more for Halloween in the Park as much as it is for our new police department building that will be opening up later this month. As you know, we've got a new state-of-the-art police department building. We've been in what was the old Joy Church, and we've been in that building for quite some time. Very frugal, the city of Mount Juliet, run by Kenny Martin, our city manager. And we felt like it was time to get a new building, one that represents Mount Juliet, and one that lets us do a little bit more on the police side. You know, our police and men and women do a fantastic job, but now to be able to have a building they look to, have a building that we can really recruit some people to, will be nothing short of what Mount Juliet deserves, and we're super excited for that.
Yeah, I'd certainly say, your city police department gets a lot of recognition for the work that they do and the crime that they stop that's coming over from Davidson County and the Nashville area. So I know they're going to be super excited to be in their new location and all the different technology and just logistics improvements that entails.
Absolutely. And we will open that building up on the 27th. We've got a thing planned for some of our elected body, our city management, some of our city staff, and I believe some to the public as well. We're going to open it up October 27th for a new headquarters ribbon cutting. I'm sure anybody online or anybody listening will be able to get a lot more information about that from our police department page, Mount Juliet Police Department, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll be rolling out a lot of information on that. And, man, I'm telling you, that building's really nice. A lot of cool toys in there, but ones that really are essential for what our police department's trying to do. So man, if you could ever think that Mount Juliet Police could get any better, I have a hard time believing it because they're already so good right now. But I'm really looking to see the cool things that we're able to do beyond what we've already been able to do. And I think the citizens absolutely deserve it because we feel like it's one of the safest cities in all of America for what we do, our location, and really our demographic, our audience. We do a really good job.
Yeah, certainly, and that's something that our CEO at the bank preaches all the time. You know, if you continue to get better, or if you continue to get better, then obviously your community is going to demand that you get bigger as well. And you mentioned something right there with the fire department, the police department, ever growing, and not only growing by number wise, but growing their knowledge and experience and what they can do to better serve the community.
Yes, absolutely. You know, speaking of our fire department, we also have a new fire station coming online on Old Lebanon Dirt Road sometime in December. We refer to it as our the fire department's Christmas present, and that will be our fourth fire station, but it will replace the one behind City Hall. So we'll have a total of 3, and all those buildings are pretty fairly new now. After that one will be replaced, and this one will have like a media center, a command center. You know, God forbid anything happens in Mount Juliet ever again. You know, we've had some unfortunate history with some severe weather in years past, but if anything was ever to happen there, we will have a centralized command center in the heart of town at Old Lebanon Dirt Road at our new fire station. And you know, I won't say that it's the Taj Mahal, but it's certainly something just like police that is absolutely needed for what we do. And as I like to say, it's something that the citizens can point to, look at a building and say, I'm proud of what our city has become, and that will represent that as well on the fire side. And that'll open sometime in December. Again, follow our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Mount Juliet Fire. You'll really be able to see a lot of things there, hyping up that building as we get closer to December, which is really just right around the corner.
It is right around the corner, certainly, and I'm very familiar with that building. They've done a fantastic job with it, and you know, it's something that's kind of surprising, Justin, is that, you know, City of Mount Juliet, if I'm not mistaken, just celebrated its 50th anniversary or 50th birthday. Is
a little bit older than 50.
Correct. So, I mean, right there just shows 5 locations now for the fire department coming online, and I'd say, you know, at the pace that it's going, 10, 15 years from now, it's going to double at least.
Yeah, you know, we are very fortunate to, you know, location. It certainly matters. And to be close to the airport, close to Nashville, which is something that we promote, and also have such a great school system and a safe environment, really, I think we check all the boxes when it comes to that. And those things really matter when you look at raising a family. So we've got that. But also at the same time, you know, being close to Nashville has its downside, too, with you know, crime and things of that nature that it brings. Fortunately enough, our elected body has been able to invest in our first responders when it comes to fire and police, and really put a stop to all that unwantedness coming to our community. And I think it really has paid off. So we're seeing the effects of being close to Nashville, but we're definitely taking advantage of what the benefits are, and also honing in on what we think can improve our location as well.
You know, the improvements that the governing body makes and everything, like going back to your job as communications director, that just shows the importance of sharing the story and the vision that the city is trying to build there in the city of Mount Juliet, how important your job is in translating that message to the public and sharing the good news that's going on.
Absolutely. We're definitely fortunate enough to have that. You know, we have MJ alert system, text MJ to 67283. You can about road closures and crashes and, you know, Amber alerts and things happening in our community. Very valuable. We're very active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and getting that message across. Also with Nextdoor. And I think we live in a day and time where, you know, kids, even adults, are hooked to their cell phones and always watching that as much more than they watch, you know, like kind of like the local news, like with cable. So if we can broadcast that message there and get our story across and get it across accurately before, you know, it hit Mount Juliet, you know, people are going to complain. So definitely not calling them out. But they usually don't get your story right, and then they usually have different tinted glasses on. So for us to be able to get that right and have other people come to our defense, we're not perfect, and I don't think we'll ever try to portray that we're perfect, but we also want to share our successes and tell people about the great things happening in Mount Juliet. And fortunately, we have a lot of great things happening because we have great people and a great infrastructure there. So we're trusted with that, and we thank people for that as well.
Well, Justin, again, you certainly do a great job for the city of Mount Juliet. They're very fortunate to have you to share what's going on, the good news. Sometimes there is some bad, but you do a great job of relaying that message to the community. About 20 seconds before we have to take our mid-show break real quick, just want to ask you one question. What is your favorite part about working for the Mount Juliet community?
It's got to be the people. I see different people, whether it's with the chamber, Rotary, city, elected body, department heads. It's got to be the people that are really special. I'm glad to be a small part of that. We like to cut up and have a good time, but we also like to be serious when we have to, and every day's different, every day's fun, and we like to call it a little slice of heaven, and I'll argue anybody that thinks it's not.
Justin, that's amazing. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, whether you're Coleman or whether you're myself or whether you're you. We're in the people business, right? And if you get that piece right, you'll succeed.
Amen.
Justin, thank you for joining us this morning for the first 30 minutes. Look forward to talking to you soon, and thank you for jumping on. We're going to roll right into our break here before we go to Hearthside Senior Living. Sean Dozier, the Executive Director.
All right, let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota. High performance, high horsepower, 0% financing is still a thing. Now's the best time to save on new Kubota L-Series tractors, rated number 1 for durability and owner experience in the U.S. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's been a busy one already out here with several accidents in their cleanup stages like that one, 24 westbound, just past the Jolton exit. As it gets heavier now on 24 west up through Antioch, coming in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, steady flow of traffic coming down I-40 right now through the Mount Juliet area. All that traffic trying to get out of Wilson County on 40 west, pushing on into Hermitage. Hey, when you need dependable towing for your car, big truck here in Middle Tennessee, make sure you call STR Towing and Recovery. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Where a patient starts their cancer care matters. And here, that means Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, Wilson County. It's Vanderbilt level care without making the drive to Nashville. From screening to diagnosis to treatment and recovery, patients can get all the care they need right here close to home. So now, having the best care team and most advanced treatment is closer than ever. Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, making cancer care personal.
Your Lebanon High football team is back on the field, and we're back in the booth. Join Donald Gann, Joe Gardner, and myself, John Boyce, as the Blue Devils hit the gridiron each week. Lebanon football is brought to you by Bates Ford, Burdine Supply, Fakes and Hooker, Kay Maynard with State Farm Insurance, Kenny Salas and the Salas Realty Group, Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice, Wilson County Sheriff Robert Bryant, Shannon Speck Electric, Sports World, Rackley Roofing Company, Wilson Bank and Trust, and Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell. Next game for the Blue Devils will be October 17th against Green Hill.
Cedar City RV, your destination for all things camping. Whether you're looking for travel trailers, fifth wheels, or anything in between, Cedar City RV has you covered. We proudly offer top brands like Forest River, Palomino, Rockwood, Coachman, and more. Plus, expert service after the sale to keep you on the road with confidence. Financing is available, making it easier than ever to start your next adventure. Visit us online at cedarcityrv.com or stop by our location at 1102 Sparta Pike in Lebanon to explore new and previously enjoyed models today.
We'll have mostly sunny and warm conditions for today. Highs will be around 80. Mostly clear tonight. Lows around 50. And then mostly sunny again for our Wednesday. And it remains dry. Highs in the lower 80s. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your severe view forecast, I'm Storm Specialist Drew Richards.
Welcome back to Coleman and Company. This is not Coleman Walker. It's Kurt Baker filling in for Coleman this morning while he's in Gatlinburg. Hope he's having a good morning if he's able to tune in. Of course, they're an hour ahead of time there, so hopefully he's listening. Second half of the show sponsored today, Heartside Senior Living. Have the executive director, Mr. Sean Dozier. He's no stranger to the radio show as he's on here quite a bit, pretty frequently, right, Sean?
Every Tuesday I'm here, and we've been doing this for quite some time, even before I became executive director. And it's been great for us. You know, people hear us weekly, and we've got some business off this spot, and we're going to continue to do it because it's a good community thing to do as well as good business.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, the theme of the story this morning is communication. We had on the communication director, Justin Beasley, just a moment ago. What's going on at Heartside that you'd like to share?
Well, I was reminded again this past week that we're all getting older, and I was talking to a longtime friend who I knew back in high school. Her mother is in Vanderbilt currently, had a stroke, and is about to go to rehab for a couple of months, and she was getting all the information about Heartside and the cost and what we have to offer, the services, and I was going through all that, and I was just reminded again, many times you get into a situation, particularly with your family members, where they go to the hospital, all of a sudden they have a fall or they have a stroke, and the caseworkers are coming into the hospital room saying you've got to make a decision about where your mom's going to go for rehab, where your dad's going to go for rehab, and many times you don't know, you don't know where to send them or make a recommendation, and so it's good to know ahead of time. And so what she was doing before she's being discharged from Vanderbilt is getting all the information, making some choices, getting two or three of your top choices, just in case one isn't available. For instance, Heartside, we probably will not have anything available come November 6th when she is discharged. So I told her, there's two options. One is she can go somewhere else and, be perfectly fine. Or if she's able, she can go home with a sitter or go home with family members and stay there a while. And then when we have something available, she can admit to Heartside. So there's a lot of options. You're never stuck in one place. Many people think, well, if I make one choice, then I'm just stuck. No, you're not stuck. Whether you go to a nursing home, whether you go to assisted living, you're not stuck. If you don't like your service, if you don't like what's going on, if you don't like the cost, you can always go somewhere else. There's no long-term contract. So anyway, I was reminded again last week, talking to her several times last week, that it's good to research. It's good to know the options out there. She actually lives in Oklahoma now. She grew up in Hermitage, actually with my wife, and she lives in Oklahoma now. She has a brother in Chattanooga, so her mom and stepdad live here, and they just need help trying to figure out the best place to go. Mm-hmm. So I just want to encourage people, if you're at a certain age, if you're at a season of life, or maybe you have parents at a season of life, know your options in their local community for assisted living or skilled nursing or memory care or long-term care, because eventually, if we live long enough, we might need those services.
Sure. It's certainly not something, and as you mentioned that, I don't guess I've ever thought about it that way. That is one of the pieces in life that you can't really plan for. Right. I mean, nobody sits around and talks about, what senior living or skilled facility that I want to go to if something was going to happen. Nobody knows what happens until it does. Yeah. That's why having a good name like Heartside and sharing your story on the radio show absolutely helps.
We're not a place where you go to Walmart or Dollar General and pick up something and leave. We're something that you need in an emergency or you need as a last resort. And it is good to have a good name. We've been serving for many, many years. Since 1994, we've been serving families here in Lebanon and Wilson County, and really all over the country, where people come and really find a place called home. And during that season of life, it's important to have consistency, which we have with our staff. They know what they like, they know what they don't like, and that goes back to customer service. It goes back to communication. Those are two of our values: customer service, communication, and then the third value is compassion. I think that's what really makes us different. Is we really do treat people like we want to be treated. We treat all the families like we want to be treated. We go above and beyond to make sure the families, because your customers are really your families. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like sometimes your students aren't your problem; it's the parents.
Right.
And in our side, sometimes the residents aren't the issue; it's the family members. Yeah, especially I have two daughters, so I can say this. Sometimes it's the two daughters that really want to take care of mom, really want to take care of dad. They're really on it all the time. So you really do gotta make sure that they're happy and everything's going well.
You know, it's one of those funny things that you mentioned that, and I'm blessed to not be in that situation right now with a family member and a senior living in senior living care. But truly, I think that's a moment that all of us at some point in life will become that family, right? Because it's our loved one that's staying there that you're taking care of.
That's right. You know, caregivers, whether you're a son or daughter or granddaughter or grandson, you know, it does take a lot of emotional energy, physical energy. Got to take off from work. You got to be there at all hours of the day. And you know, I see these caregivers, these family members. They really do. They do have to take care of themselves too, because it's a lot of energy taking care of folks that are aged and they want to do it. You know, they definitely have served us and they took care of us, so we want to take care of them at their time in life. And so you're right. We got to take care of. We got to have a good name out there, and we do have a good name. In fact, you mentioned Jay Morris listening this morning. You know, his dad, very instrumental in starting Hearthside, and did such a great job at the beginning. You know, at the beginning, and I'm reaping the benefits of it. You know, at the beginning, many board members were having to write checks just to pay payroll because it was just, you know, a struggle to get going. But now, because of their hard work and their sacrifice, we're able to serve many people, and
you're fully built out over there.
Fully built out. Well, we do have one extra wing where we're planning to build in the future that will serve independent living. So we do have one more wing that we do want to build here in the next couple of years.
Yep. Well, I drive by it on the way to work every single day and have been, you know, for 20 years being at the bank and just seeing the different pieces added and stuff. And like I said, just the reputation that you guys have in the community and the value that you bring about those loved ones being taken care of. Y'all do a fantastic job and super proud to have y'all.
Well, thank you. And I'll end with the Hearthside hello. We mentioned Jay, but I also mentioned, I also want to mention Sarah Sharp. You know Sarah, she works at the chamber. She called me, or actually she texted me last week and said, I'm listening to you. And so I want to give a shout out to Sarah Sharp, longtime volunteer in our community, works I think part-time maybe at the chamber, volunteers at the chamber, but she's a great lady, and just wanted to give a shout out to her.
Yep. Well, Sean, before you go, predictions, Tennessee, Alabama. What's the final score?
Well, I'm just gonna say Tennessee by 3.
Tennessee by 3,
yeah.
No matter what it is.
Let's do
I mean, that you have good history from a few years ago, 52 to 49.
I was at the game I've been at the game the last 3 years, whether it was at Tennessee or Alabama, and I was at the Arkansas game last week, and
well, maybe you're the good luck. That's 3 out of 4.
We held on by 3. So 3 by 3 on Saturday.
Yeah. Sean, always great having you, man. Thank you very much for joining our show and being a sponsor this morning. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
You're doing a great job.
Appreciate it, Sean. Thank you. All right, we're going to roll into the last part of the show. We have the Lebanon Special School District Director of Schools here, Mr. Brian Hutto. He is no stranger to the show either. Comes on every so often or so to give updates. I don't think y'all had a board meeting this month, correct? So normally you roll on after the board meeting to share the exciting news. Both of my kids, I have to say good morning to them because they're probably in the car. They better be at school. Colt and Aniston, I hope y'all have a great day. I love y'all.
They go tomorrow, Kurt.
Oh, that's right. They're not going to school. I forget. My daughter's at Cumberland today and then doing something else. So anyways, back to school tomorrow, right?
Back to school tomorrow. Kurt, you're doing a great job, man. It's good to see you.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle sitting on the side of the desk.
Well, Coleman sets a high bar.
He does.
He does that. But yeah, we're welcoming back teachers today. So students will return tomorrow. Teachers come back today just for general information stockpile day. It's an opportunity for teachers to collaboratively meet. They do training sessions. And it's all teacher-led. So they get to spend the day. They get to get ready to go. We're looking forward to an awesome second 9 weeks. We had a great start to school. Hopefully your kiddos experienced that as well. But, yeah, we're ready to go.
Good. I mean, I wish that's something somebody would give me as a stockpile day to where I can go back to work where the doors are locked. I can kind of reset and get ready for the last half of the semester, right?
That's the goal. The goal is to welcome them back. And if you ever have the opportunity, so our principals, they really want to put on a good experience for teachers when they return. So I was up at Colesville yesterday, and Dr. Lowry's decorating the library. She's getting ready for him to come back. She's got an agenda chock full of different things. And then the afternoons, grade level teams, they sit down, they pull out all of their data pieces, they pull out their pacing guides, they pull out all the things that they're going to cover the next 9 weeks so that everybody knows here's what we've got, here's what we need to do. It's just a good opportunity to get ready.
And I'd say a good portion of their time is not only spent in that stockpile day planning for the next 9 weeks. a lot of that stuff goes unseen. Sometimes it's sitting on the couch while, somebody's husband or wife's watching a football game or a show, and they're sitting there with a notepad in front of them just getting ready for the next 9 weeks, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. If teachers were paid by the hour, we'd be in trouble. Mm-hmm. They put in a lot of time, so definitely appreciate them. We've got a great group. Got a great group of teachers. They dig in. And so, we're looking forward to seeing them back soon. When I leave here, I'll be popping in schools. Yep. Checking out the suntans like you've got one. Yeah.
Make sure to check in on Aaron Tomlinson over there at Byers.
Well, that's definitely a stop. That's definitely a stop we'll have to make. That's a great segue. So you mentioned our board meetings. Typically, I follow a board meeting, and we'll do a rundown. So this morning, I'm just give you a preview, but our next board meeting is Monday, October the 20th, and it is at Byers Dowdy. We started our board last year. We take it on the road. We got the road show for our board meetings. We pick a different school each month, and so Monday we'll be at Byers Dowdy. Mr. Tomlinson's going to host us. I think we have some choir going to perform.
Miss Patel?
I believe she is. So, and that's another really cool part about our board meetings, being able to go to the schools. We do a student spotlight. Last month, we had some Family Resource Center volunteers that came. This week, of course, would be a bit of a surprise. Last year, we went to Byers Dowdy. They brought chickens in. Mm-hmm. So the board members got eggs. They brought chickens in. It was a whole thing. So it was really neat to see. But for Monday night, just a quick run through. We've got our district strategic plan approval. Mm-hmm. So we have a 5-year plan. Each district in the state does, and this is the Board of Education's collaboration. They sit down, and we did this back in June. So our school board members, myself, our board attorney, and the Tennessee School Board Association, they hosted us, and it's a strategy session. We sit down and we look and we say, what are our goals moving forward? And then I take those goals, go back to my team, and we say, what are our objectives and what are our strategies? So looking forward to presenting that. That'll be Monday, and we'll get feedback and we'll adjust. Another item, and if you've got students in Wilson County or Lebanon Special, the TISA accountability report. And if we need to break at some point,
let's go ahead.
We'll do that.
It looks like you got a lot of notes there and it's some good stuff to share. Let's go ahead and roll into another break real quick, and we'll be right back with Director of Schools of Lebanon Special School District, Brian Hutto.
All right, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, get a battery installed in most vehicles, $199.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
They're having a time trying to clean up that wreck in the Jolton area. It happened earlier this morning on 24 westbound, just past Whites Creek Pike. Again, we're just glad it wasn't in the eastbound lanes. Now it's heavy 24 westbound coming in right now from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, up through Davidson County there, especially around Bell Road, up to Haywood Lane. It's picked up again with that traffic volume 40 west trying to get through the Mount Juliet area, all that traffic coming in from Wilson County. Hey, when you need dependable towing for your car or truck, call STR Towing and Recovery. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Together in faith and care. This is Sean Dozier at Harshside Senior Living. Since 1994, Harshside has been focused on its residents for the glory of God and the enjoyment and security of all its residents. This mission, expressed initially by Dr. Jimmy Morris, continues to guide us today. Located in the heart of Lebanon, our respected, locally owned, nonprofit assisted living community offers a warm and welcoming environment. Schedule your tour today. Contact us at 615-443-1994.
Everyday Fiestas offers party rentals on everything you need for your special event. Birthdays, weddings, corporate events, they have you covered. Tables, chairs, tents, linens, dance floor, and so much more. Visit their new showroom in Lebanon at 713 East Main Street in the old Ferguson's building. Find them every day at fiestas.com or on Facebook. Everyday Fiestas offers party rentals that can transform your vision into a beautiful reality. Mention this ad to receive 10% off.
Your Titans host the New England Patriots this Sunday. We begin coverage with Farm Bureau Health Plan's Titans Countdown at 11 with a noon kickoff as told by Taylor Zarzer and Dave McGinnis. A showdown on the Cumberland River. Your Tennessee Titans and the New England Patriots.
Brought to you by Bates Ford, the City of Lebanon Gas Department, Steve Moe Plumbing, and the Jewelers.
The Tennessee Titans on your sports leader in Wilson County, WANT FM 98.9.
Welcome back on Tuesday, October 14th, the Coleman and Company. Coleman, again, we miss you as always, but super thrilled that I was invited to come sit in your chair this morning. It's a lot tougher seat than a lot of people realize, but I am glad to share it. But it's a little bit easier with good company like Director of Schools Brian Hutto. Brian, I know we cut you off to go to break there about the exciting things that y'all have. You know, I was looking through some stats last night from LSSD, 4,600 folks, whether teachers, administrators, all the way to janitorial staff, or is it 615 but 4,600 students?
Yeah,
right?
we're just shy of 4,700 students today, and once again, Kurt, it's a great segue here.
Yeah, that's a big district.
We've added 800 students since 2021. And that's not counting this year. I'm hesitant to count this year because it is a little lower in growth, but it's early.
Mm-hmm.
So if proportionally you think about it, 2021 we grew 7%. Then we followed 4%, 3%, 4%. So, you know, as you can see around the city of Lebanon or Wilson County in general, things are being constructed. Traffic is exponentially bigger. So we're growing. And we see that in a district. And one of the questions I got the other day was, how do you handle growth? Well, thankfully we opened Jones Brummett in 2020. So that allowed us to do some rezoning. What we look at now on our board is on top of this. One, we want to make sure we're good stewards of our taxpayer dollars, and that means maximizing space. Mm-hmm. So all the spaces we have, let's make sure we're using those to the best of our ability, and then planning future forward, which lives with that strategic plan. When's the next build? How do we fund that? Being a special school district, funding is a little different. We don't have a county commission or city council. We've got to figure out, our legislatures actually have to carry it. So we're working through those pieces so that we can make sure we stay ahead of the game. But we're right at 4,700 students and roughly 700 employees, and that's everybody. That's bus drivers, cafeteria workers, teachers. So once again, it takes every one of those pieces, and we say this all the time. Everybody's got the same mission and same vision, and that's to take care of kids, and it takes all of them. It really, really does.
Well, with my job, I get to travel across a number of communities, and I will say this about, you hear Mayor Hutto talk about it all the time, that no matter where we're ranked as far as education in Wilson County across the board, he believes it's solely to be number one in the state of Tennessee. And that my kids going to Byers Dowdy and being part of LSSD, that's very easy to see in the work that y'all do. It's the teachers that care, that we stay in communication with on a daily basis, that share the interest of the families that they're there to serve, and they do a great job under your leadership.
Yeah, well, it takes good people. You know this from the banking world. Wilson Banking Trust's got a great name. And I would say Justin Beasley hit on this. He said all of these great things were happening before him. He just gets to shine a light on. Historically, Lebanon's special. It is truly a special place, and I'm partial. But Wilson County, too, Mr. Luttrell and I, we have a great relationship. We talk 2 or 3 times a week. So for families in Wilson County, you've got a great educational opportunity. Sure. And it's a challenge because we want to continue those high standards, but it's also exciting. Mm-hmm. When we get to roll in, like Monday when we spotlight the Byers Dowdy students, that's what it's really all about. Last month when we spotlighted the Family Resource Center, when we get to see those successes. So lots of great things happening in the district, and once again, you segued to this. We'll have our board meeting Monday. We've got 4 business items. We'll do a director's report. I did want to do a couple of plugs, and I mentioned this last month, and I believe Election Commission is also, Tammy's mentioned this. So our school board voted last year to add to the board members. So we're going to add 2 members. In addition to that, so that'll take us to 5. In addition to that, they wanted to go to voting zones. So you'll have zones, and want you to stay tuned because the Election Commission is going to email out the maps. They're going to email out your voter's card. I believe that's coming in November, so hopefully next time I visit.
So there will be 5 zones and 1 board member that represents each
Correct.
zone, whereas now it's collectively just
it's
the 3,
at large.
3 for all.
Yeah, currently right now we've got 3 at large, so we'll go to 5. And really, that serves several different purposes. If you're in zone 1, then that's the area you get to campaign. Sure. Previously, you're covering all of Lebanon. That's hard to do, especially now. So they'll have their individual zones. We're looking forward to having some great candidates, and I want to do this plug. If anybody's interested in running for school board, I'd be happy to sit down with you. I know our board members would as well. It's a thankless task, but it's really, really important to help drive the direction of our school system to take care of our kids and take care of our staff. So,
well, you've had a couple. All three pieces have been there quite some time on the board, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yes, that's correct. Well, Miss Adler Gallagher, she's our newest member. She rolled. This is year 2 for her, and she'll continue on. Mr. Thacker, Mr. Tomlinson, they've multi-termed, and I think they're both ready to seek other adventures. Yeah. And so we'll have some new individuals. Looking forward to that too. Well,
they've certainly done their service, and
they have
absolutely commend them.
They have for sure. Kurt, have you talked about the Taste of Wilson yet?
I have not. I can't believe Melanie's going to be calling me right after this. What's going on? I know you're excited about it because you play a humongous role in Taste of Wilson County.
Well, I play a large role.
Part.
Exactly. And I've been in this grilling competition. Kurt, I've got to tell you, I've been in this grilling competition every year, and I pull out all the stops. One year I did cheeseburger tater tot bites. I mean, the whole shebang. Yeah. And for some reason, steak keeps winning. Mm-hmm. And you've experienced this, and I feel I'm not going to say anything's rigged. And I've asked Melanie, I want to see the vote tally. Yep. But anyway, no.
What do you have this year?
We're going to do that tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll draw. We'll get to decide what our protein will be, or not decide, but we'll get our protein. But no, in jest, it is a great event. Mm-hmm. So for our community, get you a ticket. Go to Wilson County Chamber, get a ticket. You have food samples from all the major food vendors, food trucks. There's activities for students. Lebanon Special is hosting an art sale. We've got student artwork that'll be out there. There's games. What else? I'm leaving things out.
Culinary challenge from a couple of the competing high schools. There's the mascot dance off there that night. Of course, there's always great music with John Langford and his band there as well. So a lot of people don't understand. They just think it's another great community event that Wilson County is so good at putting on. No, this is a fundraiser, and all the dollars goes back into scholarships, teacher grants, and Tennessee Scholars that's given out through the Chamber of Commerce back to Lebanon Special School District, the county schools, as well as our 2 private schools here in the county as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So that's October 23rd. That's next week, 5:30 to 8, Wilson Bank and Trust campus. Wanted to put that plug in there. Of course, we'll have the grilling challenge. I think there's a chili cook-off this year, too.
There is, yep.
And so lots of fun things. If you don't have anything happening, make sure you come out. But Melanie would...
And Melanie's got that red phone sitting on her desk where she's got a direct line to the Lord that she can make sure that the weather's going to be perfect. I don't know how she does it. That's the only thing I can come up with.
I think you're right. Yeah. So looking forward to that. That's coming up next week. Also, I'm going to steal Justin Beasley's line again. He talked about how he gets to basically share the good stuff that's happening. We're really excited. Lebanon Special's been in the search for a communications director for several months, gone through multiple rounds of interviews. We've landed on an individual, Miss Mary Lee Tice. Hope to get to bring her here. She started yesterday. Yesterday was her first day. So we're really excited. Lebanon Special, because you live in it, you experience it. We've got a lot of good things happening, and we want to have someone to be able to showcase those, to shine a spotlight on that, to get that message out. So wanted to put a plug in for her, and maybe we'll bring her next month. Coleman will get to meet her.
I'm sure that'll involve social media and the whole.
It will. It's time to get that out there, and we're really excited to get to join in that. A couple other items. Got to do some brags here before we run out of time, but. Changemakers Award. So the state of Tennessee puts out an annual award, and this will be year 2 that Lebanon Special has won it, and it has to do with our work with behavior support. So you all have seen, if you watch the news, you hear probably the worst part of behaviors and all these things. Kids are kids. Kids are kids. They make mistakes. One of the things our district has really been forward with is supporting those behaviors. And so the state's acknowledging that. So we've been awarded the Changemakers Award.
Great.
I've got a behavior support team that does phenomenal work. And so that came through last week. So wanted to do a plug for them. And once again, got a board meeting Monday night. If you've got time, come by. Of course, we'll post it afterwards. But excited to kick off a new 9 weeks.
Yeah, we all do a great job, and I know the teacher, the faculty, and the administrators all come back super excited today to get the last 9 weeks kicked off, and they'll be looking forward to Christmas break next, I'm sure.
Well, we'll have Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday, Kurt.
Yeah. Well, I went to Lowe's yesterday, and they already got all the Christmas decorations out, so I didn't even think about Thanksgiving. But
I know. Well, we're gonna. There's my 2 cents for Thanksgiving. Yeah. We're excited about that, but really looking forward to this and the cooler weather. And I'm with Mr. Dozier on the ball game Saturday. I'm not putting a score to it, but let's hope Tennessee pulls this one out.
You think it's about 3 or more?
I don't know. I've got family on. I mean, I've got friends and parents on the other side. So I'm just gonna say Tennessee's gonna pull this out. I think it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a really good game.
I hope so. Going through the last prior to 4 or 5 years ago, the previous 15 years to going into it knowing you didn't have a chance, to now that hey, we could win this one.
We could. But Kurt, appreciate your time this morning. It's always, we talked about this off air. Coleman shows a great opportunity to share, and that the listeners out there do a great job sharing what they hear. So we appreciate it.
Brian, thank you for coming on as you do every single month. Just got a couple more minutes. I know you're just sharing a little bit about your family. You want to talk a little bit about them, or?
Hey, we need to do that. Girls soccer. Yeah. Girls soccer, Lebanon High School. My daughter, my youngest, she plays soccer. They're in the district tournament. They're at Wilson Central tonight. So if you're a Lebanon native, Lebanon fan, soccer fan, come out to Wilson Central. It will be a great match. This will be their third meeting, and so when you get those inner city
cross county
matchups, they're always exciting. But I believe both teams have had a great season, so looking forward to that.
That's fantastic. Good luck to the Lebanon High School Lady Blue Devils. I know that's something that my daughter's starting to look at more and more. She plays travel soccer for Wilson United. They're actually playing 12U. They're playing up a year. So super excited about just how girls soccer continues to grow. I knew nothing about soccer. I was a football, baseball, and basketball guy, and now I'm finding myself at soccer fields every weekend.
That was me, and soccer really has exponentially grown. But once again, it's a great feeder. Walter J. Baird, they took home the district title in middle school soccer. They did that last week against Jackson County 2 weeks ago. It's exciting times here in Lebanon and Wilson County.
Well, best of luck. We'll be thinking about you tonight. That match goes on at Wilson Central in Lebanon High School at what time?
7 p.m. at Wilson Central. If you're out, come watch. I'm sure they'd love to have a great crowd, and it'll be exciting.
Awesome. Good deal. Brian, as always, thank you for coming on, Coleman and Walker. I've got about 5 to 10 more seconds. MJ's giving me the eye to wind it down. Guys, it's been a great way to start my morning. There's no other better way that I would have had it. Hope everybody has a great day all across Wilson County, and we'll see you tomorrow morning on Coleman & Company.